It's the Rapid Capture Podcast.
Welcome back to the Rapid Capture Podcast, episode 12.
He says welcome back because we just lost the first little recording.
Yeah, sorry. But it's with me, Ty, and Alex Tench, Ty Kicks.
Photogrammetry Man on YouTube.
Not confusing at all to have two personas. So
It's Alex Tench on most other platforms.
yeah, and then we've also got Nicky behind the camera.
Nico.
You can call him Nico. I know he's not called Nico, but whatever.
Yeah, but we need to
We're in Grand
explain.
Theft Auto, are we, or something?
Yeah, Nico is amazing. We need to just talk a little briefly about Nikita, who's started at River as a video editor for the last sort of, how long have you been here? Month?
A
1 week?
A week.
1 week. I say month, you say week.
Fresh meat.
Okay, really, really fresh, but really, really needed. So we went to the emergency services show last week, and Nikita did 6 videos over 2 days, and we can flash them up now because they were amazing. But you were sat eating food and drinking coffee in the background while Ty was there filming multiple videos of me interviewing people using River products, and then Nikita was doing the edits backstage, which was amazing. First time we've had an editor in the background that's not a moaning editor, not mentioning any names.
Well,
previous editors.
It's good to have another editor on the podcast instead of just me.
No, it's great because now you've got a little bit more help with editing. When Alex says to you, I want an hour-long video and then I want 6 versions of this, one about this, you now got a helper.
And now Nicky's freaking out. No, joking. So no pressure at all. So let's start. So yeah, it's been a long time since the last podcast. End of June was the last podcast.
Have we both got the same hat on?
We do, but mine's better because it's black. Al's gone sort of like beige with a hint of sweat.
And then when I take my hat off, I don't have any greys at all, whereas you're a little bit different when you take your hat off.
Yeah, mine's like kind of the McDonald's M hairline going on, but it's fine. You know, there's hair transplants are becoming more acceptable these days.
These hats are from Indianapolis, though. They're fire department coffee hats, and you've got a coffee in a Meta mug.
Yeah.
That's a nice present. Who bought you that?
Well, it's part of the theme of this particular podcast, which we'll get to very, very soon.
Have you been to the Meta Connect conference?
I wish. Not yet. Maybe next year. I think we've got a shot. So anyway.
I think we should speak to Johnny at Meta.
Absolutely. So yeah, we had June, that went by, July went by. We've basically just been waiting for more news, haven't we, really? There hasn't been anything to do. So Alex just been out
traveling,
wandering around. This was pre-travel, just mooching about. We didn't see him. We thought he'd left the company, to be honest.
Because I wasn't here. I was abroad in Houston in a swimming pool.
Out scanning, doing all that stuff. So July gone. August, I was with the River production team doing a dramatic filming in 3D 180.
Tell us where and what was that for?
So it was for Transport for Manchester, and it was about antisocial behaviour. Nicky's starting to work a little bit on that and see some of it.
And was that 3D 180 Canon camera?
Yeah, so 3D 180. One of the kind of sort of like things with that 3D 180 camera is that it's a lot harder to work with than just 360, and you know, we're going through it, aren't we, at the moment? So
and that's going to be put onto River Link kits for people to see the video.
Yeah, antisocial behaviour activities, basically people doing silly things, chucking blocks onto railway lines, throwing bricks at buses. That kind of vibe.
A little bit like the Yorkshire Ambulance knife crime awareness video.
Pretty much, yeah. That's kind of the angle, or where maybe the kind of inspiration for Transport for Manchester wanted to do it.
And quickly, that's why River is amazing at some of those things, because we send a team, if you need it, to make a 3D video. Mm-hmm. We'll send a team of people to film it, shoot it, plan it, direct it. But also, you can also shoot your own 360 content. This is just some of our clients like to have a little bit more of a higher production value film for awareness or wherever that's supposed to be, but they can shoot their own content as well.
Yeah, the output River Link only product, really. You want to show lots of people at the same time. You don't really want to have just one headset on people or a couple. You want to be showing a classroom of people,
5, 10 or 15 people all at the same time.
That's the point of making that content for Transport for Manchester, is that they want to distribute it as far and wide as possible, like our other things that we've done. So then moving on, end of August, you went back to Texas.
It's amazing that you know the dates, because I have no idea when I went to Texas, but I did go back to Texas for a show with Pico and Mace.
Industrial Immersive Week Alex never remembers which shows he's at.
Just tell me the location. I can tell you what the place was like and rate it on the pool.
Houston. Were you staying at like Omni something?
Yeah, Omni Hotel. The pool was amazing, and I was talking on stage, which was really cool. And we basically showed Riverlink, River Investigate on the stand, and spoke on the stage. The show was like 3 days, as always, but I had to go for a week just to test out the pool.
Fair enough. Wow. I would have liked to have been there, but I was on a family holiday in Spain, and I could have done with another holiday after that.
But you're going to Houston soon. When's your next trip to Houston?
Well, hopefully we're going to Houston at the end of October, but you jump in the gun. Al loves to jump the gun.
Look,
because you haven't told me about what else you did in August in Texas.
Oh, shite. It's on my list, and I do need to tell you because Nico can do an amazing little edit to this. When I went down to SpaceX, Starbase. PG Addict, SpaceX edition. Absolutely bonkers.
Starship base,
Okay.
Boca Chica.
Okay, so quickly, good to remind me about that because it was probably not the best bit of the trip, but maybe it was the best bit of the trip. The fact that I was in Houston, so I drove 5.5 hours down to Boca Chica to see Starships, Elon Musk's Starbase, and I saw the rockets. It was amazing. I cried. I scanned them. Not quite. I did a 360 photo there. I did loads of social media, and now it's my new profile picture, probably going to be on every platform.
No drones allowed.
No drones allowed. I didn't fly the drone. I probably would have got told off for that. It wasn't really going to be a thing. But touching still on Starbase and Houston, are you going to go down when you go? The reason I'm saying this is because I'm going to tell you live on air that I'm not going.
That's fine.
You're going with Ollie, though.
I've got... Am I?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not bothered.
I spoke to Brad earlier. You're going with Ollie to Houston, and that's the news, because I'm not going, can't make the trip. We'll tell you off camera why that is, but
Fair enough.
I'm not going for a repeat round. Also, Ben and Ross are not going. You're going on your own
Oh, gutted.
with Ollie.
Oh, that's fine. Cause
I'm just telling you.
I might be getting to go and see some Cybertrucks. So what a miss!
I know.
That's
I know.
a shame.
Tell us about that, because that is a thing that I will be missing out on. If you get
There
to
isn't
pull it off.
anything set in stone, so there's no point really elaborating too much.
Maybe
but
then.
Texas, Austin, Gigafactory. If there's an opportunity to go and see some Cybertrucks, we'll try and see if we can do it. But that's a shame.
You might be doing a factory tour then,
Yeah, absolutely.
like we did at the Fremont factory.
So are you going to be missing out on the November gig?
We can talk about that offline.
Oh dear, that is
No.
serious.
I'm
bad.
doing New York, but you might not be.
What? I don't think that's happening. I'll leave. I've already put my name down with them, so it's a done deal. Anyway, so September, before we jump the gun to Texas, because we've already said too much about that, because we'll talk about that again in a second about what that show is.
Okay.
But basically, September we did ESS.
The Emergency Services Show 2023. We had the biggest stand we've ever had there, and we made the most content we've ever made. It is a show that's on every year in September, run by David Brown and his crew. And yeah, it's basically a lot of blue light services, technology and hardware for police, fire and ambulance. And it allows everyone to get hands-on with stuff. And we were showing all of our river demos there again. River Link, River Investigate and River CSI. But yeah, tell us, Ty, what you were doing there with the filming stuff, and I'll bring up the videos.
Yeah, so over the last few years of going to the Emergency Services Show, we've always shot content, but it's always been one of those situations where obviously we have to balance it out with making sure that we're in front of people who want to see the products that we make, use, develop, etc., etc. So from that standpoint, you know, if someone wants to talk to us, we can't just ignore them. So we've got to make sure that we're demoing and showing everything. Whereas this year, there was enough bodies to be able to do that, whilst me and Alex went off and did some filming. And thankfully, within the first second day, wasn't it, that Nicky was on board. He was at the show helping us put together some of these videos, quick social posts. But we managed to pump out 6 in 2 days, which was pretty good, covering all the different places that Riverlink was at the show, and a couple of other people we've worked with in the past, and showing off what we do.
That's probably good to mention, the fact that last year there was a few people using Riverlink, but this year there was like 4 people, I think, using the Riverlink kits. So we were able to go round to West Midlands Fire, Leicestershire Fire and Rescue, ERDT driver training, and David Crundle, some more driver training, people that we've worked with a lot. It's amazing to now see our systems being used at shows. For so many years, we've been talking about how these would be great to have at shows and community outreach, and now we actually see the boxes being used by people in the show. So it's really good to go and film them and their reactions.
Absolutely, yeah. And I like going to the emergency services show when there is that freedom. Like, the last few years there hasn't been that freedom, and it was enjoyable to be able to kind of, when I say freedom, I mean freedom to get that content we needed to really push it out there and then get it on the socials and make sure people get to see it visibly being used by other people, particularly obviously at this show by different emergency services or driver training, whatever it might be. We managed to get it out there and get it out there in, a speedy amount of time. So yeah, thanks, Nikki. Moving on from that, we're coming to the end of September. We're heading into October. Planning, clearly planning's going on without my knowledge, about us going to the Augmented Enterprise Seminar. I can't remember what it is, but it's AES. And that's at the end of the month. Alex is now not going. But Ollie, who we've had on the podcast before when we were in Vegas, will be going by the sounds of it. And then we've got a special event that's being organised at the end of November, at the beginning of November, in New York, which will be interesting with one of the headset manufacturers.
Can we not say?
Not sure yet. That's the only thing. Not sure.
One of the headset manufacturers. That sounds very
well. The thing
elusive.
is, you failed in your section in August to talk about the things that you did there with said company and who you were with on the stand. So
I thought I said I was with Pico and Mace.
Yeah, but you also went to
Ty's holding up a cup. We went to a special little Meta event as well at the same event. I love those little secret after parties, and I especially like bringing merch back for everyone.
Yeah.
I used to be a big fan of that back in the day, still am, but I like having free mugs, free stickers. You've still got some of them.
Yeah.
Me and Ty often have competitions about stuff. One of those competitions is who's collected the most merchandise from a show.
Yeah, and I think that from back at AWE, where we got a few bits and pieces out of Pico, which was nice. I got a T-shirt and a Frisbee and a hat.
Oh, yeah.
You got
different
something
hats
as well. Having some bits from Meta were quite nice. And obviously it was leading up to some stuff we've got in the XR news in a bit.
And I was filming the Meta guys with these glasses.
Yeah.
Interestingly as well, Johnny from Meta sent me a message and said, could you send me the video that I filmed on these glasses of his Meta event, because he wanted to share it with the employees from Meta. Which I thought was quite cool. Which means we should definitely have a new set of these glasses sent to us.
We need to tap them up.
So we can film each other doing these podcasts.
Absolutely. So more about that in the XR news, but as it stands at the moment, we're now going to skip to a bit of sort of our hot takes, our kind of sales updates and scans and other River social hitty stuff. So,
okay.
So scans done and sales update.
Wait, can I just rewind one minute? So I just want to mention when we did the emergency services show, and you said, we post on all the socials.
Yeah.
I just want to read out this, because this is my little spreadsheet.
Okay.
This is the only way I sort of understand stuff. That's all the videos that Nikita made, and over here is all the channels. And it's just interesting to know that when we do one video, it gets posted on LinkedIn, TikTok, X.com, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, and Threads.
Yeah.
And that's every single video. So I like to tell people that, because it's not a really quick process of just saying, let's upload a video.
No.
It takes hours to do each video.
There's that kind of consideration of you've got to load it up. If the video is longer than a minute and the platform only allows 60 seconds, you've got to start thinking about breaking it up.
Is it this way or that way?
Yeah, portrait, landscape, stories, reels, etc., etc. And then on top of that, what's the blurb? Is it a good bit of writing that's like a little bit of copy underneath it? Hashtags, whatever. So, all takes time.
And each one of those, I do use chat to write the text for each of those, but each one needs different text. Sometimes TikTok likes a load of hashtags, but LinkedIn these days, just really short sentence seems to work better.
Absolutely.
I just thought I'd chuck that out there before we moved on to the amount of 3D models that I've beat you on with sales.
Well, Alex has had a lot more free roaming. He's definitely like cattle. I've been trapped doing what I need to do in the office. So, if I get a bit of freedom, I'll go out and do some more scanning. But Alex doesn't quite have to be so tethered. So yeah, go on then.
I
Tell me
used
about your
to be-
50 million sales that you've done now, and you're kind of like jumping
Look,
over my 50 million
He
sales.
keeps
I did
changing
before.
what he's talking about, because I used to be tethered to Codemasters until we made a company called River, and then I don't have to be tethered as much.
And then I joined a company called River, and I thought that Al would let me be untethered.
Oh,
It's fine. No, I don't care. I'm all good. Anyway,
I've got some stats.
I've done like 3 sales, maybe more than that since June. But this month I've only done like maybe 2 or 3 sales.
I'll just keep scrolling down. But yeah, when I go back to June,
Yeah.
I counted my models since June, and I've sold 21 models since June.
Yeah.
I can't show them all, so let's just go through quickly. Another pizza. Someone bought a lot of pizzas. It was the same guy, actually. He bought 3 pizzas from me. Sold Alcatraz twice, chicken burger, motorcycle, large pizza. There's a lot of pizzas. We mentioned this earlier.
People like pizza.
Warwick Court, Liverpool Street, a pub, a casualty, Halloween. It's multiple things selling. Oh, and probably one of the most controversial things that I sold, not what's on the screen now, but this might have been the most controversial thing that I sold for $16. Me and Tyrone went to an art gallery in Germany, and I scanned an Andy Warhol piece of art, and it's sold online. I made a TikTok video, and I might have touched a nerve with some people, because I can see the irony of me doing a scan of this and then selling it, because a little bit like what Andy Warhol did to make the art in the first place. Copied and got some people's boxes.
Stole Campbell's logo and Brillo's logo. So
we
realistically, there's some irony in that, isn't
there? There you go. So that sold. It caused a little bit of a uproar on TikTok. Go and have a look at the comments.
Alex will go art imitating life.
And then and then the latest one that caused a little bit more of a stir as well was the windmill. There's lots of comments on this one on TikTok as well, because some people saying it's private land and I shouldn't fly my drone there. But it's an amazing scan. Look at that underneath. Absolutely beautiful. 3D
what's that
heaven.
Woman? I just saw a woman lying back on a chair. Is that yours?
Oh, don't talk about those ones.
I was going to say, what is that?
Oh,
random.
It's one of my stolen ones.
Okay, fair enough.
Should we talk about stolen models again? Polycam?
I haven't stolen any models. I've been scanning my own models.
So if you look down my Sketchfab here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, not 10 stolen models. 12. There's a few. I get bored sometimes, and I'd just like to exploit the loophole in Polycam.
We'll give you credit though. You have started to make them look prettier.
Yeah, that's from you.
You've added some colours.
That's from you.
It makes it look nice.
Ty showed me that some of his thumbnails, his trainers, had this really colourful background. So I thought, okay, let's try that rather than just my plain white backgrounds.
A little improvement there.
Yeah, there's a lot of stealing going on, and I want to say it again. Polycam, I love you reposting my stuff, and I'm going to keep doing it for you. I love it. But you need to close the loophole, and it's really easy to do. It's really easy to close the loophole. Every time an upload is done from a phone, set the shareability to default not allowed. And then they'll never be able to be stolen.
But that's not the point. The point is they want people to share them. I just don't think they realise that people are selling them.
Okay.
I think that's the point.
They want people to share them into a folder.
Yeah, they want people to use them, don't they? In their own dev stuff, isn't it? They want them to put in other people's scans and, create a community and stuff like that. Maybe they need to have something under like where it's like, when you go into a stock library and it says this is for personal use or commercial use, if you download it and it says only for personal use, it's free. But if it's for commercial use, which technically you're basically reselling it, you have to pay for the model. Okay,
my brain breaks on all of that because I just need to go back to the root cause.
You just want to make sure no one steals yours.
If they did the switch for everyone, I wouldn't mind. But as I upload this model, they should set it as default, not be allowed to add to a library, not be allowed to be shared with by anyone else. But if you go to my albums, I click here, other people's scans, they're all the ones that I think are quite cool. Yeah. And you can go into any of these scans, like the one you just talked about, click this button, upload, Sketchfab, price. That shouldn't be allowed. They should close the loophole.
I don't think I think that they need to close the ability to upload it to Sketchfab straight away from somebody else's scans. Yours, fine. But when you go into someone else's share and then it still allows you to upload it to your Sketchfab, that's where it's a bit dodgy. Like, I feel like
they think it's yours.
They're not going to put it on Sketchfab and then make it free. Although it depends. If you've got a pro account, you need a pro account to sell it at a certain amount, or it has to be a certain size. I think it's under like 200 megabytes. You can't load it on if it's over 200 megabytes.
But when you do a scan now, do you change the setting to not be shareable when you upload it?
All of mine are not shareable.
Yeah, but where do you flick that switch? Because I never see it easily
I have to do
in my
it
face.
individually.
What? You go back into the model?
You have to go into the model once it's processed and then turn it off.
You'll have to teach me that, because I don't even know where to go in the Polycam app to change it to non-shareable.
Yeah. My scan selling life has been a bit dormant, I won't lie. I've sold 9 models since the end of June. And
You've got 2 children now, so you're really busy.
But then that doesn't stop people wanting to buy my stuff. But
True.
yeah, like Aston Martin engine, that was a trash scan. I'm sorry whoever bought that. Some Tiger style fries from Dough and Brew. Trainers, 4 Alcatrazes.
Okay.
Boom.
You're beating me on the Alcatrazes then.
And then another trainer. So yeah, trainers and landmarks seem to be popular for me. Pizzas and landmarks seem to be popular for you.
There's a lot of trainers on here, which is cool.
Yeah.
We know you like
crashes,
them.
some Nerfs. You haven't got any Nerfs on yours yet.
Oh God! Don't even start talking about Gaussian splatting and Nerf. Jesus.
Yeah, but they do look good. That Gaussian splattering, whatever it's called.
We need to look more into that before we can talk about it.
Very, very interesting.
Did you say this engine was rubbish?
Yeah, it's trash. I don't really like it. I don't even know why I ever loaded it. It's very expensive for something that I'm not very proud of. I'm not going to lie.
Oh my God! It looks like a melted cheese engine.
Yeah, someone bought that. I was
Really?
amazed. Yeah, for $12. Look, they can, and this is the thing. You haven't been pulled up on any of your models yet. I've been pulled up on 2 now.
I reckon it's having connections
that bought them. And look, I can only do what I can do at Polycam or Luma or whatever. I'm definitely not someone that's like a VFX person that can do mass cleanup and make it all a little bit better. You can inspect these models, and
before
if you
buy
like them, great. If you don't like them, don't buy them. Don't complain after the fact that you don't like how good it is. You can see
Is this the one someone moaned at?
No, it was a different one.
You had someone moaned, didn't you?
But that's the thing that's funny is that it's like, oh, it's not what I thought it would be. And I'm like, could you not see it online when you bought it? Or
you can wireframe
it. When I do 3D printing, I'll have a look at the model. I think the model looks rubbish. I'll go look for a better model. It's not really hard. So from that standpoint, if you like it, fair enough, buy it. If you don't like it, don't buy it.
You can check it, yeah. You can
Absolutely.
Look at
the
wireframe.
All of it. And if it's not good, or you've got to fix something, there you are. It's there. No, sold as seen.
Okay, so you're going to go and scan some Cybertrucks then?
Yeah. In other news as well, I bought a Tesla.
That's the big bit, though. You've worked at Tesla, you've filmed Tesla, you've been doing solar roof Tesla, and then I walk in the car park and Ty he likes to do these surprises to me. Anytime he has something new, he likes to see my reaction firsthand, and he was like, I bought a Tesla. Yeah. And I was like, what? I have not got a Tesla. I've got an electric Citroen, which is not actually mine. But
yeah, and I don't want to elaborate on the reasons why I probably didn't speak too much about it. It's just a few issues that I had at the very beginning that are being kind of ironed out now. But yeah, a lot of saving of money and trying to make sure that I didn't buy lots of trainers anymore, sneakers if you're American. And it was just very much about persevering, selling a few things as well, and finding the one I wanted. So
And what did you get?
So I got a black Tesla Model 3, long range, 2021. I think it
looks
is.
Amazing.
It's great. Like now, it's great. Enjoying it, and obviously because of working with Tesla and understanding it a little bit better, I just don't. This is not anything about the Citroen or anybody else who's got an electric car, but like the charge network that Tesla have got is just next level compared to anybody else.
You mean speed or coverage?
Coverage in general and price. Like you can go and charge a Tesla charger now. At some of them, like 70% are open now to all EVs.
I've had a go with a Citroen on one, yeah.
And the new V4 charger now will allow you to just tap to pay on like the side of the actual charge port, the charger. But they'll still charge you more than a Tesla will get charged.
It's cheaper.
So it's still cheaper if you own a Tesla.
Is there still some of those Teslas around that you don't pay for charging? Model X?
Model S is definitely the Model S's were free
charging
for life.
What?
There's someone I saw online. This is when I was
For
doing my
life?
homework for it. Yeah, for life. When I was doing my homework for it, he was a taxi and he'd done 200,000 miles in it, and all he'd ever had to pay was a little bit of maintenance, tyres every 50,000 miles, and just making sure that, you know, things weren't like completely worn out. He's really had to spend very little on it, and he's still rolling in it because he hasn't had to pay for fuel. Fuel's just been free.
There can't be many of them lying around still for sale. They must put the price up massively for a car that has free fuel.
Potentially. Yeah, so my experience with dealing with Tesla so far is that obviously there's a load of different companies that have chargers around the UK. Our initial experience was having a Tesla in California at AWE.
Racing you in San Francisco.
That was fun, but I knew full well that the charging experience in the UK would probably be a lot different to California, you know, so I had to kind of like really do my homework, and they're so expensive outside of Tesla superchargers. You know, like anywhere from like double the price to charge a car. Imagine if you owned one vehicle and you could go and get petrol half the price of another brand of vehicle. That's the thing that's internal combustion engine car. That would be just wild, isn't it? I turn around and go, you've got to go and charge your car at 80p kilowatt, which is about a kilowatt can maybe get me about 6 miles, 5.5 miles. Whereas like, you know, I can charge mine for 30p. You know, so this is the thing why I ended up picking the Tesla. Not everyone will turn around and say they're the best build quality or the best at certain things, but man, their charge network, if you're going to buy an electric car, I don't think you can beat it.
I just think they're amazingly fun and scary to drive. That's why I like driving it. But if you do want to hear more about the charge network and different prices, your TikTok channel is absolutely full of videos where people can come and learn all about the charge network. If you fancy falling asleep,
I'm tempted.
a bit more.
I'm absolutely tempted to start a new YouTube channel about it. So, you know, watch
Do
this
it.
space.
I think it would be good because it's a very up and coming thing. It just bores me to tears because I just want to buy electric, don't care the price.
I just feel
that's why we're different.
But I think that's the incentive, isn't it? If you can do it cheaper than your petrol car, you can drive around cheaper. But the thing is, yes, there's a bigger outlay at the beginning. You've got to pay a lot more for your car. But you can still buy a Beamer or an Audi. It still costs you a load of money. But you still got to pay 20 quid per one trip to Saltham. Whereas I pay 20 quid and I can come to work almost like I'm in a 1 litre.
All of your talk, though, about this, all of your talk. No. Yes, I'm only saying that's my opinion. But all of this is relevant, but it's going to be irrelevant when you get a charger at home. You're just going to be able to plug in at home. You're still waiting for that day
9p a kilowatt
when you can plug in, and then you won't even think about it because it'll just be full all the time.
Absolutely. Anyway, let's skip out that. We've done our chats about this. Have you had any TikTok big hitters?
We've done
River
Tesla cars then.
River got its first one.
Let's talk about that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Obviously,
and there wasn't anything about River.
Obviously, on Alex Tench TikTok channel, which Tyrone follows all the time because he just seems to comment on everything. Perfect. That's where we're at 85,000 followers. But we started River, or you started the River channel, I don't know, a while ago. There's not many followers on there, but we did a video recently that popped off. I think it did. I don't know what it's on now.
It was on the way to 400,000 views. I think it had done 300 and something. And before that, the biggest one we had before, I think was only like
50
something
the glasses.
On the Google Glass. That's the biggest hitter I think me or you or anyone has had for a little while, to be fair.
Oh, it's 440,000 views and it's FBI training. I think I edited it while I was on the toilet.
Nice.
Let's just start again.
Designed for the FBI.
The one thing that I found interesting was the comments on this. The comments were, why we're now shooting dummies? Why is the dummy black? Like
that was a question.
That was a question. I'm like, because it's just a dummy. I said,
it's a dummy.
I wrote back. Obviously, I'm trying to be professional because it's the Rivers account. I went, I could say, why doesn't it have a nose, mouth, or eyes? It doesn't matter about the colour of the dummy. It doesn't have any features either. So that question was just like a trigger question, obviously, wasn't it? Like I just find it funny that some people on TikTok think that first. That's the first thing they think about. You know, it could be, why doesn't it have hair? You know, like loads of different reasons for why that dummy doesn't look lifelike.
I always think that the comments on TikTok are very funny anyway. You know, one of them is, Call of Duty started this.
Yeah.
Okay. Lots of comments I can't read out online, but yeah, go and have a look. I think every comment as well adds to the engagement and makes that number go up, and now it's like 450,000 views. But yeah, the one before that was me wearing glasses. I think this is when we're looking at the Apple, not Google Glass.
Google Glass. It was Google Glass back in the day.
Yeah, that was the biggest hitter before. So I haven't really had any big ones really in the hitters, but a lot of mine. I think actually no, that sale of the pumpkin barrel the other day, every time I sell a 3D model, I do a little video of it selling.
Yeah.
And I might film my screen on Sketchfab and it gets 70,000 views just by saying, sold this, sold that.
That's
and
right.
people are like, who's buying these things? And I'm like, I don't care. And they seem to have a go at me. They seem to say to me, oh my God, he's doing this and he's trying to make money from this. And I need to say to everyone, I'm not making money from it.
Yeah.
It's just for fun.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
a hobby. We have a company that makes the rest of the money that we all use for our food.
Absolutely. So on that note, taking away from scanning and all that stuff, just finishing off with any cool news in the world of River. The cool news in the world of River is that we have brand new RiverLink kits with new headsets from Pico, the G3 headsets. We are now going to be selling 6 headset kits and 12 headset kits, and we will have a 6 DOF Fusion kit that will have 8 Pico Neo 3s in them. So this is just something just to sort of refer back to talking about the content we make for clients, the hardware that we make, and obviously what we show at these events, whether it be in Texas or emergency services show. At the emergency services show, we were showing off our new boxes, and so that's what's going to be happening in the future. If you want to buy one, you can check it out in the description.
I need to talk about it a little bit because it is important that we talk about that Fusion kit. The Fusion kit will allow people we can have an 8 headset kit, but it allows people to use the RiverLink software if they want to synchronize video playback that they might have shot on their cameras, but also it lets them play things like Engage. Imagine you would be inside Engage doing some room scale, picking up items and drawing. Then you might put all the headsets back in the box, go to a different department within the company, and then put the headsets on and do some RiverLink stuff. So it allows, we sell the box and our software, but it allows other people to put their software onto the kits as well.
Cool. Yeah, amazing to have something new to show people and obviously get them excited about what they can do with immersive content and how they can push it out to different people, educate people in any way. So we're going to move on to the XR news, which adds a bit more excitement into it. And that
subjective,
also,
the excitement, I think.
Well, yeah. Well, some of the things that in here are very much orientated around this company, purely because quite recently they just had their big keynote. But first, let's get this out of the way, just because in the last podcast we were in Cupertino for the announcement of Apple Vision Pro. Apple had their September event announcing the new iPhone 15, 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max. And they did have one little sneaky thing that they told us about, because everything was basically the same. It's an iPhone 14 with the 15 slapped on it, but they made it out of titanium. And they did a slightly different camera on the Pro model. But the Pro models can shoot spatial video for Vision Pro.
Is this picture a phone on its side?
It's a phone on its side. It's basically obviously showing 2 lenses side by side, and that's what will give you that disparity, depth 3D.
I'm skeptical.
In a window. But
is that someone's IPD or is that a child's IPD?
I would turn around and say there's going to be some work done on it in the background.
Some extra software.
To work it all out. And obviously, I suppose when you really think about it, the size of the panels that are inside a headset are tiny. The way that you see it, you think it's vast. There may be a way that doesn't matter. I don't really know. Like, I think that the only reason that something like a Canon system is so big is because they want to have a full frame sensor, shoot something really, really high resolution, 8K, massive, 3D, everything amazing, full immersive. This is not going to be in your full peripherals. It's going to be a little box of 3D video. Like back in the day with 3D TVs. It's just going to be a rectangle. It doesn't need to be stretched around your face.
This is so hard to explain to people there what you're talking about. Unless you know about 3D 180 and 360 flat video.
Well, should do if you're watching our podcast.
Every event we go to, nobody knows what we're even talking about when we talk about VR.
If you're listening, on the screen, we've got an image of the iPhone on its side.
The new one, the new 15.
Showing it basically use it like they've got the two cameras that are level when you put it into sort of a landscape on your phone, and they're saying that those two lenses on the Pro model will combine to make a 3D video for their new immersive headset. When it releases next year, you'll be able to use it to film memories and play them back, but it won't be fully immersive. It'll be like a little floating box in front showing a video, but the video will be 3D instead of flat. That's basically it.
Whereas at the moment, we're inside a Meta headset or a Pico headset. We see 3D 180 content. We look left and right, and we see a border. That's where the edge is.
Fills your peripherals.
You're going to say that this 3D video from Apple might just be in your real world as a little window.
Just a little window.
And it'll be 3D.
Yeah. It'll feel
like wearing glasses watching telly.
Back in the day, yeah. Pretty much like that. And then I'm sure with the little news that we heard recently that Canon are making a more consumer-friendly 360 camera and 3D 180 camera.
Yeah, that's cool.
Maybe they've got a little thing going with Apple where that might work in their headset too.
Well, I'm pleased.
So we'll see. We'll have a broader 3D 180 experience or 360 experience. But they're setting this up so that you can start when this is available, because it's not available yet, I don't think. They haven't made it available to work yet. There's no point.
You better shoot and see it in a headset.
But you can start banking it, can't you, and start watching it back a little bit more interestingly if you want it to fork out $3,500 for a headset.
On that, let's just read a little text message that I've just had from EE.
Yeah.
That my iPhone 15 Pro Max 1 terabyte version is on its way.
Alex has been selling kidneys. Blimey.
It's on its way.
1 terabyte.
It's on its way.
It's more than the MacBook Pro, that.
Well, you know, the company's not doing too badly.
So let's just skip on to the next thing, which was Meta Connect happened on the 27th of September.
Hey everyone, welcome to Connect. We are incredibly proud to introduce Quest 3, the first mainstream mixed reality headset.
In our time, that was yesterday. Big news that was super not secret about Quest 3, but we got to see it a little bit more close up and have a look at the specs.
Can I just talk about Zuckerberg on stage?
Go for it. What was he, a robot? It felt like he's a bit of a robot.
Everyone always says, yeah, Zuckerberg's a robot. Well, that's not what I was going to say. I was just going to say that Mark Zuckerberg on stage, it seemed like he was reading from bullet points and then free roaming the rest of his speech, because he kept stuttering and saying different things that some of the things sounded like he wasn't supposed to say them. Did you notice that? Was it
I'll tell you what I did notice. I noticed that he said the wrong release date. He said August 10th. And I laughed and went, you mean October 10th?
Yeah.
He didn't correct himself either. So that was quite funny. But yeah, I did feel like it was a bit fake. Like he was reading off like cards, or
it felt like everyone was prepped to clap at the right time.
They kind of like had like a sign behind. Going,
all
clap.
I could think of was the scene in GTA when the guy holds the phone up to his ear and it explodes. Anyway.
So overall, looking at the hardware that was launched there, so we had no Quest Lite. There was rumours there might have been a Quest Lite of some kind. No Quest Lite.
40% smaller.
Meta don't claim this to be a VR headset anymore. It is a mixed reality headset, no longer VR headset. You've got better pass-through than the Quest Pro. You've got colour pass-through that's miles better than obviously the Quest 2. And you've got a new chip in the Snapdragon XR2 second gen chip, which is twice as powerful in every way, graphics.
I'm excited by that. So, it sounds like Meta's going to change the lingo to say XR, and Apple's going to change the lingo to say spatial.
Or AR, spatial, all that stuff. No one wants to say VR anymore. It's not the cool word anymore. Let's not say VR.
It's just so confusing to say VR.
Yeah. So from that standpoint, we'll have one of these in after the October the 10th, I'm sure, in some capacity. Alex has got all the dough. He's just bought a 1 terabyte iPhone, so he'll be buying this.
Are we allowed to talk about Nick Clegg and Meta on this
you can, yeah, absolutely, if you want to say it, because I was quite surprised about...
You tagged me.
Yeah, there was a post that was put on LinkedIn, and it was Nick Clegg is one of the senior people at Meta.
Global affairs for Meta.
I just don't know who put the picture with his article.
It won't be him.
No,
I understand it won't be him.
But the picture was not of a Quest headset, but of
come on. Can we talk about this? Because no one replied to me.
A garage phone holder headset.
I went online and I was a little bit annoyed when Tyrone tagged me in this post that we can actually see online.
Oh no,
it's horrible. So my problems
the
here.
Photoshop on it though as well, like
Hang on.
blood cells.
Let's just set the scene a little bit. Let's just set the scene.
Yeah, go on.
Nick Clegg, president of global affairs at Meta, posted an article. The title is "Immersive Technology's Potential to Transform Education is Enormous." The photo is a $9.99 garage headset. You used to buy these 7 years ago from a garage for £9.99. You slipped your mobile phone into the front of it. I'm sorry, it's absolutely disgusting that someone's done this.
It wasn't acceptable.
When I clicked on it, and the article says, written by Nick Clegg.
Oh, no.
And here's his Twitter handle. So obviously the article was not written by Nick Clegg. But if you're the marketing company that's behind this, it's called Times Higher Education. So I went online and I tried to find a few people from Times Higher Education. I added the CEO. I sent messages to like 6 people saying, have you written this article? It's mental that they actually put this picture with the president of global affairs from Meta the day before the Connect conference.
No, it's pretty
Someone
shambolic.
needs firing.
Yeah.
Sorry, Meta.
Or at the very least, someone should have understood even the past headsets they've got and got permission from Nick Clegg to use at least one of their headsets.
Oh, here's a comment. Alex, couldn't agree more. The marketers in general are all woefully uneducated and ignorant. I agree.
I've been on a crusade to get rid of these images for ages. Alex
What's
now
our
gets
idea?
exceptionally annoyed by them, and I like
Tyrone
he
tags
does
me.
the same as me. He'll write. Is this the headset that holds a phone in it? And then I did it back to you, didn't I? That's normally your quote.
Yeah, as soon as you see one, you chuckle and tag me in it, and then I just put it online. This had 5,000 impressions. It's an interesting post, but
It's funny.
people are saying this is also unbelievable.
Anyway, so that was really interesting. Let's quickly jump back to Meta Connect so we can kind of see a little bit more.
We're not going to see Nick Clegg's face again, are we?
No, Nick Clegg. But no, we can see at the top we've got Meta Quest 3 now.
This looks
ready
cool.
for
What I'm looking
pre-order.
at, this is good.
We've got something new else from Meta Rayban that we'll come to after. Scroll down a little bit. because
Please, can we
kinda-
have some of these glasses sent to us, Johnny, and or Mark?
So Mark, here's Mark. Well done to Mark.
He did well.
And yeah, so new headset. Going to be really interesting to see what we can get. Get one soon.
River is an official ISV partner with Meta. Please, can we have some glasses?
Yeah, so that was interesting, and we'll hopefully get to see that. And
Did
then
you say that the little light on the front of these?
Yeah.
So on these ones, there is when you press record,
Yeah.
it has a tiny little light here. But Tyrone and me and Tyrone bought some nail varnish when I wasn't doing my nails, but I put the nail varnish over the light so that people can't see me filming them.
And
What's happened now?
So new generation Ray-Ban stories, Facebook stories, whatever they were called, they've changed the name now. It is now Meta Smart Glasses.
Oh.
So they're smart glasses. They've got improved speakers for audio with less audio leakage. They've got better cameras. 12 megapixel camera can film 1080p for 60 seconds a time, which is a bit whack again, but oh well. I think slightly higher storage capacity, so you can save more. And just overall, they're apparently better.
But
and new styles. But the privacy element of this, so the intention is that you can film, but people know that you're filming them, so that you're making sure you're doing things right. Alex wants stealthy filming, so decided to cover up the little light that was on it. It's a tiny little white light would show you it was filming. On the new one, they've made a massive light, and it's right on one side.
Have they built
and
it into the camera?
It's like it's a little screen. It's like a little
so what happens if I get my nail
light.
polish and wipe over it again? What happens?
It will tell you you've got to clean it off, clean the indicator.
Remove notification.
Yeah, so you can't do your selfie filming anymore. You can have a better experience overall, music, whatever you want to do, better calls, but you can no longer be a bit pervy. No.
I am still sceptical. I'm going to try and do that. I'm still going to try and cover it up because I don't want a light when I press record. Thank you.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how those work in reality and how it knows that you've covered up the thing. But it is different. It's not just a tiny little LED. You need to watch the video when you get a chance. It's like you got the camera on one side, and then the camera on the other side of the glasses you're holding now is like a light. The whole circle is almost like a little
that would make
light.
sense. So I couldn't put a black mark over it because you wouldn't be able to see anything.
And it becomes really obvious, not a tiny dot anymore.
I don't understand why there's two cameras either, one on either side.
I think
but it
one was
only
for
uses
photo
one.
and one was for video.
I never
But
use
I think
photo.
they've managed to combine them into one now. Because
Okay.
it's a better sensor, they might not need two.
It had voice
cameras.
activation, but I never wanted to use it because you have to say, "Hey Facebook, take a photo." And I
Now
was
you
like,
say,
never
hey,
saying
now
that.
you say, hey Meta.
It's still as bad.
It's still bad.
Hey,
Still
Meta,
not
take a
great.
photo.
You should be able to pick
like
what
this.
you want to do.
I wanna go-
You should just say, take a photo. Whatever. Jarvis. And then it's like your choice what it's called. Anyway, let's skip on from that because obviously
Next subject.
They're new. The other ones are old. They're gone in the bin. Alex's got old news on his head now, and they'll be ready. You can pre-order them, I think, and then you can get them pretty soon.
I'm going to order them. I want to play with the new ones to see what I can do with my nail polish.
So we'll wind up the podcast now with some tech mentions, which
Whoa,
are interesting.
whoa.
Well, we haven't finished.
Okay.
We're just kind of like bringing it to a nice ending.
I've got to wrap up with some history bits.
Yeah. You can add your tech mentions. These are my tech mentions.
Okay.
You've got more tech mentions, and we'll do it one after the other. So tech mentions are within the Meta Connect event. They talked about new AI stuff. Llama 2 is Meta's kind of AI platform.
Heard about
engine,
that.
Whatever.
Is that going to be all inside WhatsApp and all inside Instagram
Yeah.
and Facebook Messenger?
They're going to start bringing it. So you'll have Meta AI is like the key one, the main source to talk to for chatting. And I'm still trying to bend my brain around what they've done by making characters. They've made AI characters using celebrities, sports people, or chefs or whatever. And they will now answer your questions based on what they're good at, what it's about, what their kind of niche is. So it's like dance enthusiast, adventurous storyteller with Snoop Dogg, the dungeon master,
Quirky DIY MMA expert.
Okay. You've got approachable
Perry.
golf pro. But these are all
Free-spirited friend.
They've given them new names when they're not. It's like Zach. It's Mr. Beast.
It's Mr. Beast.
It's Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Brotherly jokester, and Paris Hilton is the Amber. It's called Amber. You've got
Did they have to
Brew is Tom Brady. So they got all these permissions to use these, and they can speak. They had like basically a phone they were showing, and Zuckerberg had it up, and on the phone he was just doing an adventure Dungeons and Dragons kind of affair thing. He was typing it in, and it would reply to you. So you're playing a text game. I don't know who's doing that, but some people are doing text games.
Mr. Beast.
And it was like Snoop Dogg was at the top, just moving. His head was just moving, doing funny, weird poses, and occasionally would say something. It was really random. It's like a modern version of Atmosphere.
Okay, let's see how that rolls out in the future.
VHS. And then they were talking about AR stickers, so you can make AI. See, all these acronyms, AI stickers, so you can build stickers using AI art.
I've seen it. You can say like, have a smiley hedgehog riding a bicycle.
Yeah, and make a
Send.
sticker out of it, send it. So it's a bit interesting
For 10-year-olds.
Fair enough. If you're keen, fair enough. And that is Meta's adventure into releasing AI into all their apps, basically. So
We see it now with LinkedIn having like build your post with AI, and you can like type in a bit and press make it.
Yeah.
Whereas we use chat and then post it back in. They're all going to have their own little built-in version.
yeah.
I want to have a play with the image ones. I heard he was talking about those really photorealistic images that you
Quick
can do.
seconds as well.
5-second stuff. That looked really cool.
Yeah, Optimus had a new update. And the last time we did a podcast, they showed Optimus doing some stuff. But now Optimus can organise things and see its own limbs just with vision, which is pretty cool. Look at this.
I loved hearing Elon's little talk about Optimus when he mentioned like most people don't understand the scale in which they're going for with this. He reckoned they could sell 10 billion units because every person might want 1.5 robots.
Yeah, absolutely. On the screen, we're now seeing the vision only from its cameras on its head.
I wonder if he's wearing the glasses.
And it's sort of moving Lego blocks into the right coloured trays, so green and blue. And then this guy's coming in. They have fast forwarded, like they've sped this up a little bit, but he's trying to confuse it or turn the blocks over and trying to like mess around with it, and it can still do it. So you think from end of June to now. And apparently can do a bit of yoga as well, some namaste poses and stuff. It'll be very, very interesting to see how Optimus progresses in a year's time.
I love it when...
How can it do in a year?
Elon said, here's him doing his little pose. Elon said, because no one wants Terminator to turn up.
No, absolutely not.
I think it's amazing, but imagine the job disruptions when people start understanding what this can do for manual jobs in warehouses, mainly in warehouses. I want one in the house to like do washing, go and pick up all the washing. You could just have fun and go in and chuck your clothes everywhere, and then the robot can just come along and be programmed to pick them all up, put them in the washing machine, hang them up, put them in the drawer. Imagine how much free time you're going to have.
It's going to be amazing.
Not me, because I don't do washing anyway.
San Francisco is just going to be full of fentanyl addicts because they got no job anymore and they can't pay their bills.
I do think
you need to train them to make you money. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, but people need to now soon start thinking about their passions and things they really like doing, because you're not going to have to do much anymore.
But that's
creative stuff is the winner.
That, but you also think like this is like you invest. It's going to be expensive, maybe like 20 grand, which is not for a robot.
20 grand.
But 20 grand, like basically the third biggest purchase. If you buy a house, you buy a car, you buy an Optimus robot.
Have you got a robot?
But it's an investment for you to make. So if you were going to buy a house to rent, you buy an Optimus to work for you,
to go and look
make
after
you
it,
some money, or film you.
But the robot,
your cameraman,
yes,
there you go.
Follow me everywhere, please, with a camera on, and scan everything for me. Go and scan the windmill.
Absolutely, there we go.
God, I want one.
Cool. Right, finishing it up with Al's passion projects.
Well, let's just talk about this one.
Go on then.
We did a 3D scan on a roof in Warwick of this old urn that is very broken and worn away, and they want us to restore them. Usually it would cost $7,000 and someone has to come along, make a mould of this, take it down to London, make a cast of this, then make a mould of it, and then fill it with old reconstituted stone, and then build it and put it back on the roof. Well, I scanned it with my phone, as we do with a lot of things, scanned it with my phone, did it in software, cleaned up the model, 3D printed it. This is only one piece of it. But now we're going to be making the mould from this, with it's all fixed up and looking beautiful, tipping in reconstituted stone, cracking the mould out, and saving £5,000. So we just think that this is the sort of things that I like doing as little projects, because these things eventually lead to us doing different businesses, and we've now already had conversations with the National Trust and English Heritage around this sort of thing, because imagine this for every old building in Warwick or all around the world. You now don't have to do the way, it's like just showing a new way of doing things, basically. That was one thing quickly. Another thing that we've been looking at with St Mary's Church in Warwick is I've been going up the tower quite a lot and scanning the shields at the top. But Joe Harvey in the office has been working with them. We've been scanning items like this. This one's now in a computer game called a VR game called Puzzle in Places. This is Ambrose Dudley's tomb. We actually scanned it in situ and then sold it to a games company to put into their game. So it's now a 3D puzzle, and it was basically turning real world assets that are historical and never really get looked at by many people into assets for the church so they can make extra money. That's now in a game. And then we're doing another project with Warwick Museum, where we've 3D scanned the whole of Warwick, and we've made an augmented reality overlay that sits over the top of a 3D printed model. When you put the iPad over the 3D model, it brings the model to life and shows the path of the fire of Warwick in 1694. A really good way to show kids, to teach kids in a different way, because we've all got children, and I like taking the children to different places and working out what they don't like doing, so that we can work out what they do like doing and how they can learn in a different way.
Absolutely.
Multiple historic projects going on. One more thing that we did last night, which we've got video of as well, is we went to Abbey Fields, where they're creating a...
Where's that? Just for everyone that's listening.
Abbey Fields in Kenilworth, they've put a new swimming pool, or their proposed new swimming pool that's being built. And underneath the old swimming pool, they found loads of old medieval ruins. We went and 3D scanned all the ruins and 3D printed it. And we took it to the event last night to show everyone that they don't have to worry about it not being restored and kept forever, because they're going to build a swimming pool over the top of it. We scanned it when it was all uncovered, and now we can have it in augmented reality, 3D print it, and walk around it in a virtual reality world. This is what we're trying to say to people. All these historical sites that have been dug up or maybe being exposed over the years, we can scan them and literally keep them forever and put them into 3D worlds or augmented reality worlds, like we've never been able to do in a fast way before. It's always taken so much time to do. So I'm excited about doing more and more historical projects.
Yeah, I think the thing that you may have got from basically this podcast and podcasts that have come before it is that River as a company do so many different things in the world of technology. So if you have thought about tech, especially some of the things you've already heard that we do already, you can get in contact with us and, pitch something. Who knows? It might be something that is really interesting to us and see what we can do with it, whether it be about creating digital twins, about, 3D printing, about historical preservation, about education, whatever it might be. We hear so many different companies and so many different industries and so many institutions talking about things they'd like to do, but they wouldn't know how to do. And they think that these things are not possible. And so the reality is that we are here to try and tell people what is possible, what can you do, how much it will cost, and hope that we can find a solution that realistically is cost effective for you to actually pursue it. Because there's no point thinking about it. Why not try and do it and just work out how you can do it? And obviously Alex has showed there are means to be able to do stuff with historical preservation that gives people a little bit more confidence that things aren't just going to be wiped away. This discovery in it's actually my hometown, Kenilworth in the UK, has a historic past. It's got a ruined castle. It's close to Warwick, which is Alex's sort of favourite town, with a castle. There's a lot of medieval history in and around Warwickshire in the UK where we're based. And so we're trying to get in anywhere and document it in techie ways. So,
yeah, in Warwick we've done 3 or 4 different projects, and they range in budgets from 30 grand to 100 grand, but we're looking to take all of these projects to London and do them with Natural History Museum and the Science Museum and places like that. We think that there is a massive gap in the market for teaching kids in a different way.
Absolutely. And with that, it's been good to do episode 11 of the
One
Rapid
more
Capture
thing,
podcast.
surely one nice little video that you want to do about the Canon printer.
One more thing.
One more thing.
Go on then.
The Canon printer.
Yeah.
We had a freebie sent to us. Thank you, Canon.
It's a beast of a printer as well. I can't remember what it's called. Pro something.
Super massive pro amazing printer.
A2 prints, super high quality photo printing, and stunning. Absolutely
So I took one of the photos that I took of down in Starbase.
Yep.
Of the rockets.
Mm-hmm.
I took it to a little framers down the road, and it's actually ready now, so I'm going to go and collect it after this. But it was printed out, and I could not believe the quality of the printer. Have they got a bigger one?
Oh yeah, they got enormous.
And
ones.
do they do 3D printers?
Absolutely no.
Oh.
They used to. I think they sold that business on, but I remember them saying that. But yeah, interesting stuff. We still collaborate with Canon on things, and it's really cool to experiment with their toys as well.
Thanks, Canon. Can we now have the A0 printer?
Yeah, A0 and this new 360 3D 180 camera.
Oh, that's
Let's
the next one we need. But we also want the 2D one as well.
Yeah,
for testing with the shooting kits.
You can do your vlog cam. Yeah, that's the one we want.
Okay.
All right.
Hopefully that's not too hard for Nikita to edit, but we'll see.
Right then. Laters.
Episode 13 next time.
Bye bye.
It's the Rapid Capture Podcast.